Firstly, I gotta say that I find it entertaining that instead of saying press the button to start, it says to enter madness. I've never seen it before, even on the most hardcore horror games. But this is supposed to be a horror game, Call of Cthulhu. It's supposed to be some sort of investigating game. I don't know much about it. I'm aware that you're an investigator in 1924 trying to discover the slaying of the Hawkins family. And that's about all I know about it. Oh, I was recording, but let me stop real quick. Yeah, this game takes place in 1924, and it's discovering the Hawkins family and their murder, and then apparently you end up delving into some sort of cult with Cthulhu. I'm not sure what Cthulhu is, but I've been told it's some sort of ancient deity or something like that. But it sounds similar to something like Outlast, because Outlast is that sort of thing too. Not that bothers me whatsoever. But that's pretty much all I know about it. Chapter 1, Pierce Investigations Agency, Boston. Boston, 1924. Edward Pierce, veteran of World War I, drowns his memories in liquor and sleeping pills. He is now a private detective who has trouble finding a case able to lift him from his torpor. Pierce must find a new case quickly or risk losing his license. Is that how private detective shit works? If you don't find a new thing, you lose your license? Because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If I am mad, it is mercy. May the gods pity the man who is in his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. H.P. Lovecraft. First noticeable thing, I can't help but notice that his ring is on his other hand for some reason. And also, I believe this game actually takes some inspiration from H.P. Lovecraft. And lastly, from the very beginning, actually two more things. One, harkening back to what I said about Outlast, this game is in first person. I didn't know that. I figured it'd be in third person. And this time, lastly, I assume this is an in medias res. What does in medias res mean? It means that the game is starting out in the middle, and then it'll take you back in time. No dice. One thing I gotta say, that why does everything look so goddamn foggy? Like, honestly. It doesn't really bother me, but it's striking to me simply because this guy's in a cave. Like, unless there's a big source of water nearby, there shouldn't be any fog. And there's a big source of water nearby. Okay, never mind. Counter darkness. You must light up some orders in order to be able to interact with them. And how on earth do I do that? And now this is like Amnesia the Dark Descent with this thing. Bolt cutters. And that's like the medium. Except it didn't require a button prompt for me to do anything with it.
In my wake, pulled along. Fate inescapably draws you on.
I assume that's Cthulhu.
What a putrid offering.
There is no offering yet. Unless I'm the offering.
Don't fight. You have been chosen.
Run from what? I'm just confused. I ain't got a clue what's going on yet.
Behold.
Oh, a cutscene. I wasn't expecting one of these yet.
Already been written.
That's what I thought. Dream sequence that will turn out to be prophetic.
I hate whiskey.
And why do you drink it? Dark Water. Pierce Investigations Agency. My private detective agency. Contracted to the Wentworth Detective Agency. What? Then it's not your private one. It's one that you're a part of with somebody else. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston. You know, I actually like how they call it the Great War, because that is what they called it back then. After the Great War, I decided to set up in Boston, where there is no lack of work for guys like me. One small-time case follows the other. Adultery, settled scores, disappearances that aren't actually disappearances. Well, they are, but you mean murders. The old office couch is less comfortable than a real bed, and I should probably get rid of these empty bottles. But this place is mine, for the moment. Lighter. My old lighter that I engraved in memory of the 77th Infantry Division and the men of the Lost Battalion who fell. The case. The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay. But I know if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? So that's kind of like the sinking city.
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
Nah. You know, the fact that they gave me a choice though, does this game actually have consequence, or is that like, doesn't really matter?
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
Nice detail in books. Let's explore everything in here. Actually, no, one thing first things first. No, game. You can't see any of the body, which means there is no body. Damn it. I was really hoping there would be.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
Oh, right, for during Prohibition. Although not really during Prohibition, if you get my drift. The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed this case. But when you're already outside the law... Wait, you're outside... How the hell do you perform private detective outside the law? There's not a lot one can do against a private detective who's got proof against you. What? I don't know. There's something weird going on there.
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
The husband never understood that his wife had left him. He kept calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed. Well, he couldn't believe it.
I used to be an avid reader. Been too long since I've slept in a bed. I wonder why I still take these things.
That's not bad. I want to give some praise to music though, because this does sound like music you'd hear from the 1920s. And yes, I have heard some music from the 1920s.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
Well, then go
I have
contract yourself
business here
somewhere
to
else.
attend to.
Here? What, this? Fine.
I have business here.
God damn it. That's it.
I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
What the shit? Allocate your character points. Each character point allows you to improve the score of a skill. What? 8. Okay.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
That's your...
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat in it?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
Okay. Two things I kind of irk me already. I can't deny. One, it keeps needlessly going from cutscene to gameplay. Now that wouldn't be a problem much whatsoever, but the cutscene sound is really low compared to the gameplay sound.
Its strange beauty isn't enough to hide the feeling of dread it carries. A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
File in the case. A shipping label. Some of it is unreadable, but I can make out part of the address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater. The police report. It says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they, nevertheless, insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental faculty, or frailty. Why? A press cutting. An article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live a recluse life there with their only son, Simon. That's it?
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
So know more about her than you do?
Darkwater. Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice.
Huh.
Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
And I would rather do that than not.
I used to be an avid reader. Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Darkwater Island has been inhabited since the 14th century and is still rich with the many memories left by its lost tribes. But don't let the romanticism of these moving evidences of such naive and primitive beliefs fool you into forgetting how violent their gods were. A gigantic creature still ornates the walls of long-abandoned caves. Was it a sea or a dream god? No one knows. But today's inhabitants, the sons and daughters of the proud whale hunters, still remember the mysterious and tumultuous story of their small land off the coasts of Massachusetts.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
It's just off the oh, then again, it's 1924.